All right. Good morning. Welcome to everyone who's joining in for today's Nutanix 101 workshop. Hope everyone's doing great. We're going to give everybody just a few minutes to get into the room. I see people flowing in, clicking on those links. So Paul, how are you doing this morning?
Doing well, thank you for asking.
We are happy to have everybody on the call with us. We're going to give everybody just a few minutes to get logged in, and then we're going to kick off. I'm not sure how the weather is where you're at, but it's nice and sunny here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I'm based out of, and I'm definitely enjoying some sunshine today because it's been kind of gloomy the past few days, overcast, and just kind of gets you down.
Agreed. Something needs to come out tomorrow. So that'd be the Annie song.
So I hope everybody is excited to get their learn on today. I know Paul is here and excited to share with you all about Nutanix and AOS. So we're gonna give folks just a couple more minutes to join in. During the webinar, there's definitely several different ways that you can interact with us. There's a Q&A feature here. There's a chat feature. We'll be monitoring both of those channels. So if you've got questions, please feel free to put those in there. I think there's a hand raising feature in here too. So
Can you double check, Philip? It doesn't look like their mic or audio is on. Are they being blocked, or is it just not showing on my end?
All right, yeah, let's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and allow everybody to talk because we'd love to get to know you. We don't have
there we go.
A ton of folks in the boot camp today, so we'd love to hear from you in just a few minutes and find out who you are, where you're coming from, what you'd like to learn today, all those things. So feel free to chime in too if you've got questions, or again, you've got the chat and the QA, and I'll ask those questions on your behalf if you don't want to pop in and ask.
Can you guys give a thumbs up? You guys can hear us, just to making sure everything works.
I can hear you.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess we just forgot to. We can hear you guys. Perfect.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I
well,
guess we just
welcome and thanks for joining us.
Sneha's voice is not on yet.
Okay.
Hey everyone, Obi. I'm listening good.
Hey, morning.
Good morning. So I think I've got everybody turned on where you can also talk. We're going to give everyone one more minute and we'll kick off at 11:05.
Yeah, appreciate everyone hopping on this morning. Anyone here from the West Coast? Philip and I are actually in the East Coast, so it's 11 for us. But anyone in the West Coast, thank you for joining early.
I know we had some international folks at least signed up. So Paul,
nice.
We may have some folks from Europe or even India, it looked like. So we've got folks from all around the world signed up today.
Nice. Thank you for joining.
All right, well, it's 11:05, so I'm not going to make you wait any longer. We're going to go ahead and kick off this Nutanix 101 workshop. And my name is Phil Sellers. I am joined with Paul Nguyen. and we have Harvey Green also going to join in a little later during the webinar. Paul is from Nutanix. I'm from Xentegra. Harvey's also from Xentegra. And also part of the Nutanix team, we have Alex Kluger. Alex is our CSM from Nutanix. That stands for what, Paul?
Channel Sales Manager.
So you know us in tech, right? We always have our acronyms, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to take just a minute and introduce myself. So I'm a solutions architect for Xentegra. What that means is I get to lead great education sessions like today. I lead webinars, I talk with customers, help create strategy. And my background is about 25 years in the data center sort of space of technology infrastructure. I've done VMware for a long time, Nutanix, and multiple other data center technologies, lots of things that have Microsoft in front of it too. I came to Xentegra about 3 months ago. So I had worked for 2 Xentegra customers in the past, got to know this team extremely well, and decided to join them about 3 months ago. So having fun talking to customers and helping them solve their technology challenges. Paul, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Philip. So again, my name is Paul Nguyen. I'm with Nutanix. Been here close to 5 years, 5 amazing years. I'm the senior channel SE, as Philip alluded to. I also have my counterpart, Mike Marios, on the call as well from Nutanix, another resource to reach out to and ask questions. Mike, if you're on, if you want to do a quick intro as well, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Hey, guys, Mike Marios. I work with Paul on the same team. I'm based out of Miami, Florida. I'm also fairly new to Nutanix, so I love joining these workshops because I also get to learn in addition to be a panelist.
Nice. Oh, and I forgot where I'm based out of Washington, D.C. So thank you for reminding me, Mike.
Well, also absent at the moment on the call, but supposed to be here with us is Harvey Green. Harvey is our CEO for Xentegra Gov. So in addition to Xentegra, we have a division focused wholly on state and local government, education, and the federal government in the U.S. So if you happen to be somewhere in that space, or if you happen to be education or healthcare that perhaps gets public money, Xentegra Gov is a great resource. They're accustomed to doing all of the contracty things and all of the flaming hoops, as one of my sales reps likes to say, that you have to jump through in the public sector. So real quickly, I'd love to just kind of go through and see who else we have on the workshop today, if we could do that real quickly. If you wouldn't mind giving us your name, who you work for, maybe where you're located, and what you'd like to get out of today's session. I'm going to go in alpha order, and we'll start with AJ.
Hey, my name is Ajay, and I'm the part of the Ogletree, and I'm working. My role is the system administrator at the Ogletree. So that's it.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, Amit, do you want to go next?
Hey everyone, this is Amit here. I'm based out of India. I'm currently working in NetAccess India as an AVP. I'm completely new to Nutanix, so just wanted to understand and go through the Nutanix workshop, which we have here. Thank you.
Well, we're especially happy to have you joining us from India. I know it's late there tonight, so thanks for making special effort.
No problem. Thank you.
Azim, you want to go next? All right, what about Bernard? How about Deminda? Saw you coming off of mute there, Deminda. Edwin, you want to go? No worries, Deminda. I see your message there. Hassanea?
Hey, Philip.
Oh,
Is it Sneha or just someone else?
Sneha, yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Hi, hello everyone. I'm Sneha. I have around 11 years of experience in IT and I've worked on multiple flavors, mostly on Citrix and other technologies as well, based on need. Nutanix is my core area of interest for now, and I'm really looking forward to this workshop.
Well, thanks for joining us, Sneha.
Very happy.
Hassanea, would you like to go?
Hosanna Undamu, Director of IT, Charles River Community Health. I'm a new customer to Nutanix, and Xentegra was introduced to me by them. So I'm trying to learn everything about Nutanix and be part of the growth.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Joe, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning. I'm Joe Blanchard. I'm with Ogletree as a systems engineer and looking forward to learning about Nutanix.
Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Yep.
And
Matt,
if the mic doesn't work, feel free to put it in chat and we'll read the chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, would you like to go?
Sure, assuming there's only one Matt here. My name is Matt Sleva. I've been doing Citrix work for about 10 years now. And actually I have Andy Whiteside to thank for that because I used to live around Charlotte and I was there when Xentegra started up, and his passion for this technology is what helped cultivate my interest into it.
Nice.
So about 10 years, I've been with WesBanco Bank in Wheeling, West Virginia for about a year now, and they run Nutanix. So prior history, I'm familiar with ESX, I'm familiar with Hyper-V, and I don't know what I'm doing in Nutanix, so that's why I'm here.
You'll feel right at home if you know vSphere. You'll feel right at home with AHV. Alleviate any concerns. But yeah, funny you said the name Matt. Philip is a common name too, but I misspell his name all the time with the 2 double L's or 1 L.
That's right.
It's more confusing. His last name has 2 L's, so I always mix up that spelling.
So Ahmed put his information in the chat. Ahmed, thank you for joining us. Ahmed is with IT Build Yemen. He's a partner in Yemen. He's working with Nutanix for about 2 years, and he does already have some certifications, but he's trying to prep for his NCM NCI. So thanks for joining us, Ahmed.
We do also have separate classes for those, Ahmed, just we have other classes for those as well for you to attend.
Yeah, maybe you have the link for that one that we could put in the chat?
I'll look for it. Yeah, I'll look for it. But this is a good starting point as well to learn the basics of Nutanix. Absolutely. And we'll go, and NCM is a little bit more advanced than this class, but this is a good starting point, and it will complement your NCM course as well. So you're still in the right place. Learn, ask questions. We're here to answer, and we'll send you the link to the other course as well.
So I see some folks coming in, so I'm going to skip back up. Himadari, did I pronounce it correct? All right, let's see, Steve, you're off mute. You want to introduce yourself, Steve Schock?
Yeah, I'm Steve Schock with LabCorp in Burlington, North Carolina. We use Nutanix, so I'm just trying to learn a little more about it.
Well, thanks for joining us. Ryan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm from Saint Amant, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I just started here maybe November, so I'm pretty new, and I'm also fairly new to Nutanix. So I'm looking forward to to getting the basics and getting some general knowledge.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us, Ryan.
Thanks.
Let's see. I'm scanning through. Ugerson?
Yeah, hey everyone. This is my 4th session with you guys. All are connected. I have more than 11 years experience. I'm working with Kyndryl. Before it was IBM.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also working with Nutanix since 2 years. So I have now good experience in the Nutanix. So I have more than 10 clusters I'm managing for my client. So I have more than good exposure. So today I'm looking forward to how what topic we are going to learn from this course. So maybe this will help me in my project as well to contribute something. That's why I'm here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. And Zachary, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Zach. I work with Ogletree Deakins. It's a labor and employment law firm based out of Greenville, South Carolina. I'm the server engineer here. Been with the company for almost 10 years now.
Well, we're happy to have you joining someone not too far away. I said it when the call was first starting up, but I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina, so not far away at all.
I've got plenty of favorite drinking spots in Charlotte.
That's easy to have with the number of breweries we have around. Is there anybody that didn't get a chance to introduce themselves that wants to? Just throw your hand up in the chat. I'll make sure, or just go ahead and chime in. All right, if not, we'll go ahead and kick off. I'm going to try not to bore you with too many slides, but I do want to give you a little bit of background about us, Xentegra, and then I'll turn things over to Paul, and he'll get into the meat of Nutanix 101, and we'll be here to help. And then a little bit later on, we will get started in the lab environment. For 2 days session, I am going to send you all an email while Paul is talking, and it will have your URL to log in and all of the other information. So look for that. And then, as I said before, if you've got questions as we go through things, please do chime in, or feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A feature. We'll be monitoring those, and I'll make sure that those get answered by Paul. Hold him to the fire. So who is Xentegra? We are a value-added reseller based in Huntersville, North Carolina. That's just north of Charlotte. We've been in business for about 10 years, and we started with an end-user compute focus. But as we continued to work with customers, they started asking us to do much more. And so one of those much mores is Nutanix. We now have about 80 different technology partners that we work with. We're a little different in that we're engineering led. So we do a lot of things differently than other VARs, like today's bootcamp. We do a lot of education. We believe in that wholeheartedly. And so we try to do a lot of community outreach and education to help everyone, because we truly believe that a rising tide raises all ships. We've got a great giveaway that's going on this year for the second year in a row, actually. We're giving away a Ford Bronco, not just one this year, we're giving away 2 of them. And it's called Work Has No Boundaries. We truly believe that you can work from anywhere. COVID's certainly proven that out. We've helped a lot of companies succeed with remote work and enablement for their users, no matter where they happen to be located. So you can find out more about our sweepstake at bronco.zentegra.com. All that you have to do is take a meeting with us. You can choose which technology partner you'd like to talk about, and that will enter you into the sweepstakes for one of the 2 Broncos. So who are we as Zentegra? As I said in the beginning, we're a value-added reseller, but there's a lot more to us today. Although we started out focused in digital workspace, we've evolved into a company that works with the best in breed of technology partners available today. We've also got consulting services, so we can come in beside you, augment, and help you succeed with your implementations, troubleshooting. We've got a managed services division that's able to help offload responsibilities so that you can focus on higher value tasks, or that you can get expertise to supplement your internal team. And one of the great services that we also offer to the community are our complimentary assessments. Since I joined Zentegra a few months ago, we've kicked off a Nutanix micro assessment program. And what that is a free consultation. I come in, or one of my colleagues comes in, we look at your Nutanix environment, we look at the overall health, best practices, and then we make some recommendations based on where you're at and what opportunities we see for the future. We've got micro assessments across a number of different products in our portfolio. And if you are interested in working with us, it's a great way to get to know us and get value at no charge. Our team has over 700 years of end users compute experience. It's a phenomenal number, but our heritage and our company morphed out of Citrix. As Matt alluded to, having met our founder, Andy. Andy was a Citrix solutions engineer, and he founded Zentegra almost a little over 10 years ago. And over the course of time, we've accumulated a number of very, very expert level technicians and architects who've been doing end user compute for a very long time. So when it comes to EUC, we're a great partner for you to succeed in that area. Zentegra was born out of the need for customer enablement and true partnership. We live that out in a number of different ways, but one of those is a boot camp or a workshop like today, webinars, podcasts. We'll talk about all of those other things. But we want to be that partner that we didn't see in the marketplace. And that's kind of where our company was founded. In 2019, we were awarded the Citrix Partner of the Year. We have grown that business and that practice significantly. It was a crowning achievement for us as a young and a fairly small company at the time. But we've grown exponentially. Just as an aside, we were at our company kickoff last week, and I would say 30% of our company has grown, or 30% of the folks in the room were brand new over the last year. But that's also where we're really trying to go to market in new areas that haven't been part of our historical pedigree. We really are working hard to bring in the best of breed talent for technologies like Nutanix and iGel and many of the other partners that you see in our portfolio. Most times when you're working with us, you're going to get one of our engineers that can go very deep on any one of the technologies that we're working with. And that's the difference of an engineering-led organization. As I said, we do tons of events. We do happy hours, bourbons and blazer events, lots of different giveaways and things close to you. So for all of the events and things that we're sponsoring, please check out events.zentegra.com. And as we talk about those webinars, those free resources for you to get to know new partners and technologies that you may not have been exposed to, you can find all of those at webinars.xentegra.com. And lastly, for going deeper, we also do podcasts in a number of different areas. Today we have a Citrix podcast, a VMware Horizon podcast, Nerdio, AWS, just a number of different resources where we talk about deeper topics in technology, and those are freely available in any of your streaming sources. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you can find a podcast, or you can also find them at podcast.xentegra.com. So this is the logo slide. Everyone has to put one of these in there when we intro a company, right? We work with all sorts of verticals, all sorts of different customers, all around the world these days. So just a few months ago, we launched our India division, and I know we've got some folks joining us today on this workshop from India. So welcome, thank you. We're excited to be doing business in India and partnering with companies all around the world now. You know, we truly think we've got something a little different to offer. And so we approach things a little differently and try to make it valuable to every one of our customers. So recapping, who is Xentegra? We're a reseller. We provide services, but more importantly than anything, we try to provide solutions to you. So we try to wrap all the individual technologies, all the individual companies together into a big package, put a bow on it, and try to make you successful. So in the end user compute space, you know that just having Citrix or just having VMware Horizon is not enough. You need to have an endpoint strategy, whether that's thin clients, whether that's thin client OSs and management points, whether that's patch management and remote software installation and those kinds of things. It takes a lot of different technologies to make a successful solution. It also takes people and process. And so we come beside you and help you with the people and process to solve those really tough problems. So recapping, we've got these different verticals. You know, certainly we're a reseller. We sell products. We do product renewals. We work very closely with AWS and Microsoft. We've got consulting services, advisory services. We can help just from an advice and strategy standpoint. And we're truly a leader in the digital workspace. We've been in this area for 10 years. Again, have a deep, deep bench of expertise that you can call on to help you. And then we work very closely with these Nutanix guys. Isn't that right, Paul?
You bet.
So Nutanix is one of my favorite technologies. You know, I've spent a lot of time in the VMware world. These guys have a phenomenal go-to-market message and technology that pairs with it. It's really a platform for you to be able to solve your business problems. And, you know, Nutanix is just one of our technology partners. Again, being an engineering-led organization, we work with technologies where we've had past experiences and successes with customers. We try to become experts in that technology in-house so that we give the best advice. And so you don't have to worry about us just being a transactional business partner. We really want to be a close, trusted advisor for you as we do business together. All right. Xentegra Connect. We also have a managed services division. So these are our cloud partners. We have our own hosting and our ability to provide managed services out to you, whether that's Citrix, Nutanix. We have a special DR as a service offering in the United States that has redundancy and failover between our two data centers on each coast. And it's a little bit of a differentiated DR solution. We also work closely with Microsoft and VMware. You know, as you'll see today, there's no really better platform than Nutanix for running Citrix. So we do a lot of hosted Citrix as well. We also have a staffing division. So if you're looking to try and fill a position, we work with a lot of technologists, and our technologists know when they encounter other good technologists. So if you're on the search for someone to fill a position, check out jobs.xentegra.com. As we talked about, we have free assessments, and those are available. It's a great way to get to know us. You know, we have the ability to help you plan. We can handle your renewals, or we can come beside you and teach you to fish. We love to pair our resources with your resources to help you do your jobs, to supplement and to help people learn. As an organization, it's one of our core tenets to help evangelize technology and also to help people succeed and up-level their careers so that you get new skills, you get success, and we believe that together we can do great things. So with that, that's a little bit about us. That's a little bit about Xentegra. And I'm going to turn things over to Paul.
John Philip, thank you for that. I'll let you click through here for me. So I'll say click whenever you're ready. Cool. So thank you everyone for joining today. Today will be kind of a 101 bootcamp to AOS and AHV. We'll do a PowerPoint preso. I'll do a demo afterwards, and we'll do labs for the rest of the day. The labs will go through kind of a day-to-day activity as an IT admin, as yourselves would go through with Nutanix. So you get to go through creating a workload, creating a container, set up permissions, set up the networking, the whole 9 yards. So should be good. I think I just saw someone's hand raise up. Go ahead. Azim, I think I saw your hand raised. And feel free to put questions in the chat as well. Cool. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So for anyone new to Nutanix, right, to kind of understand who we are and where we're headed towards, you might see on our website that we're a Nutanix hybrid cloud company, instead of what you're used to maybe 5 years ago, where it said Nutanix a hyperconvergence company. We are moving a little further away from just an HCI company, which we're known for. We are heading towards the hybrid cloud model. But to understand our journey, let's go ahead and start in step 1 from the beginning. Our goal when we started with Dear Odds was to modernize customers' data center. Click, Philip. So a lot of problems with the traditional 3-tiered architecture is what I like to call the 80-20 rule. With traditional 3-tiered environment, right, that's what your networking, your switch, and then your SAN storage with server with virtualization on top. That causes a lot of issue with the siloed environments, right? 80% of your time you're spending on managing that environment. You might have different vendors, right? You have a Cisco switch, a Dell server, a NetApp storage. You gotta make sure careful integration, you need specialized skills. Make sure they all upgrade, work together, right? That can cause long planning cycles. So 80% of your time, you're wasted spending on the infrastructure than, right, creating applications or running your business. So we want to change that and modernize. Click. What we did is we collapsed 3-tier into a 2U cloud-in-the-box chassis, as I like to say. So what you're getting, go ahead, click, Philip. If you need to grow and expand, we are a software-defined product. We can use any, sorry, I missed that one, but we can use any hardware platform you like. These are just the OEM platform that we partner with, appliance model. So we have the Nutanix NX Supermicro. We partner heavily with HPE, Lenovo, IBM, Cisco, and Dell. for those appliances. So whichever hardware vendor you like, we are a software company, so we don't vendor lock you to any specific vendor. I myself only get paid on software, so whatever hardware you like, go ahead, click. And then we'll grow and expand. Again, it's a software-defined product. We'll add more nodes, grow and expand your environment. Click. So out of the box, we do have our own virtualization built in called AHV. We can still use ECSI or Hyper-V, as you can see. So we are hypervisor agnostic. But if you don't want to pay for that VMware tax or pay for VMware socket licenses, AHV is included, right, in their package. You see there, K8, we do have Kubernetes containers, Kubernetes orchestration, built into the product as well as we do heavily partner with Red Hat with their OpenShift. Click. And again, we're integrating compute, storage, networking in a 2U box, what I like to call a cloud in a box experience for you as the customer. So I found this very funny picture here on the left-hand side. Hopefully that's not Philip getting lost in the data center.
It has been before. It really has. Exactly.
I've been there as well with my label maker, right? Labeling everything left and right just to know what cables go where. But you can see on the right-hand side how we modernize that data center, how nice and clean it looks and fresh. And I'm sure all you guys are familiar on the left-hand side, all the different tabs you have open to manage that infrastructure. You have your Cisco UCS that you might have to log into, your NetApp filer to log into, your Dell servers, etc. For us, it's all in one pane glass of view that we call our Prism Element, which you'll get hands-on experience today. And it is HTML5, so you can log in to manage your infrastructure, not only at work, but at home. We have people log in their Tesla, wherever you have internet connectivity, you can log in and manage your environment.
And I think it's important to note that it's not just with AHV either. You bring things from the other hypervisors into your UI as well, right?
Correct.
So you get the benefit of a single pane of glass, which I know every vendor's been talking about for ages and ages, by running Prism Central.
You're my Vanna White today, Philip. Hopefully, again, we're moving away from HCI, which is still our core product, but we want to branch into, we're moving towards a hybrid cloud company. So what does that mean? We can now, run on-prem with Nutanix, and we can also run Nutanix on bare metal instances in the cloud. That's right now AWS and Azure, and soon GCP, and everything will be managed under one management console with Nutanix. So one-click deployment, multi-cloud management, we can move in data migration freely between on-prem to AWS, even from AWS to Azure. Think of us as the upper layer for that data migration. And we do have classes and courses for that as well. This is a little above the scope of the class, but I do want to have this announced in this class for you guys to know, where Nutanix is in the market. But we do have, and what we call NC2, Nutanix Cloud Clusters. We do have classes and whatnot for you guys to attend as well. But this one is an example on AWS. Again, click Philip. So all we're doing, is putting our AWS software on AWS bare metal. A couple of use cases for this is lift and shift or on-demand elasticity. So if you have workload that will burst, say busy season, we can migrate those workloads from on-prem Nutanix and move it to AWS public cloud. Since we're just sitting on bare metal and using their VPC, all AWS's cloud native services are available for you to use, including S3, Glacier, Lambda, whatever you're familiar with, RDS, whatever you're familiar with AWS will still be there available for you to use. And of course, this is continuity with backup. We have built-in S3 connectors that we can send backups directly to S3, and it can service lifecycle down to Glacier. Sure, I think someone pop a question, Philip, on the chat. Sorry, I can't expand.
Oh yeah, question is, if I could have a private cloud with Nutanix and a public part with my own equipment. I already have a project for the first semester with a main data center that will connect with a national microdata center.
So the answer is yes. It's all we're doing is putting the AO software on a physical DR site that you're creating as a cloud. We can do that. So that'll be site to site on-prem. You can build out your own DR cloud environment for sure. We'll just put in the software on. We just have to make sure, right, our AOS software is on an HCL compatible hardware that you have on your cloud environment. That's the only caveat. But to answer your question, yes. Cool, good question, good question. Again, it's just, right, our software sitting on bare metal on the cloud. So if you actually log in to Prism Element, where you normally will see, it'll say you're sitting on an NX model or on HPE, it'll just say you're running on AWS or Azure. Can it be installed on any brand? We do recommend the one that we brought up, right? Dell, Lenovo, Cisco, HP, and IBM, because their engineers work closely with our engineers, so we know their platform OEM appliances work perfectly with us. But again, we have an HCL list, hardware compatibility list. As long as it meets the specs, yeah. But just keep in mind, right, support and whatnot, that's the most important. So just make sure it's supported. And you guys know the engineering answer is normally yes for everything, but is it supported is the key factor.
That's right.
Cool. So again, this slide is just hammering down. Whoops, go back a little bit.
Oops, sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Wrong way. It's running away from me, Paul. It's running away.
So this slide is just to hammer down the, right, we are a software company. We don't vendor lock you to anything. We give you the freedom to choose, right? Hypervisor of choice, AHV built in into our product. That's our own hypervisor. VMware Hyper-V, platform choice. Again, these are what we prefer, but we can run on anything that meets the specs. And cloud of choice right now. So we do have our own cloud, surprisingly enough, called Nutanix Xi. AWS bare metal has came out maybe 2-3 years ago, and Azure just came out this year. So GCP will be on the roadmap, and keep a good lookout for GCP. Oh, and thank you, Harvey. We just saw the special guest of the day, Harvey Green, CEO, Mr. CEO of Xentegra Gov. Joining us. So thank you for putting that in the Slack.
Doing my part.
Thank you. Next. Cool. So I like to show this slide a lot to customers to kind of hammer home what HCI is and actually what Nutanix is and how it came to be. So we call it the web scale architecture. So I'll take a really quick step back. So Dheeraj, our founder, actually came from Google, and all of his team, all of our founders. What they're realizing very quickly is it's very hard. As you know, Google has petabytes and petabytes of data. They're finding it very hard to scale with a point SAN solution. So what they did was create a Google file system, which is a software-defined storage. They'll use white label servers. They need to grow and expand. They'll add more servers to the rack. If something fails, they'll take it out and swap something brand new back in. So web scale just means expand fast, fail fast, quick, and recover and fix quickly, which is the web scale architecture. We took the same Google file system approach, just relabel it the Distributed Storage Fabric, or DSF. We packaged that into a 2U chassis, rename it Nutanix. So you remember earlier, I called it a cloud in the box. You're literally getting a Google Cloud experience in a box, easier consumable, right, in a 2U form factor for you guys to consume and use. So you see there in the middle, the CVM, that is the secret sauce, sorry, of what makes Nutanix, and HCI. Let's say, for example, in a normal environment, right? A normal SAN, no matter how fast it is, could be all flash, but there is a bottleneck to it, right? Typically, how many physical controllers do they have? 2. So let's say you have 100, 200, 1,000 servers all trying to read into that fast SAN. Those 2 physical controllers, that's the bottleneck, and they'll slow everything down. What we did is we virtualized those physical controllers and make them virtualized into a CVM on every node in their infrastructure. So think of it as more doors, more windows, more lanes, right, into the house. That's how we got our claim to fame with VDI. I'm not sure how many guys used VDI before. I did in the past, where everything got jammed in, right, to the 2 physical controllers. 100 of us all log in at once to try to type all at once. It's called the boot storm effect, right? I'll type something, as like 10 seconds later, I'll start typing, which is a little scary, right? That eliminates that bottleneck, so you don't get that boot storm effect. So that's how we got our claim to fame in the beginning of our Nutanix journey with VDI. But we've gone a long way. We've been around for 10 years. So we do more than just VDI. All right, we do mission criticals, databases, machine learning, big data, DR, robos, any workflow you can think of, we can house within our Nutanix infrastructure. I'll take a quick pause there. Any questions, concern, comments on web scale and the CVM? Awesome. And feel free, right, to put questions on the chat. Philip and Harvey and Mike will moderate the chat for us. Cool, next. This is just one model. We have many different models within our appliances. Any use case you have, we'll have appliances for those. So we have, right, storage heavy, we have compute heavy, 1 node chassis to 4 node chassis, however you like. We do have hybrid models as well. So we have a hybrid flash and HDD that will do hot and cold tiering. But we also have all flash mode as well with NVMe flash. If you do go with the hybrid model and you're worried about your databases being moved to slower spinning disk, we do have something called flash mode that will commit those databases to flash only, and it'll never move out of that flash tier, giving you that ease of mind that will never move to a slower tier storage for your mission criticals and databases. Next. Storage pools and containers should only create 1 storage pool. Again, it's a software-defined product. Once you create that storage pool, we'll create those containers. So containers, if you're familiar, I think I remember someone saying they're using vSphere. It's just our data store, right? We just renamed it container. So we partner very heavily with NX Supermicro. That's our appliance OEM model. But we partner very heavily, right, with HPE, Dell, Lenovo. I think it was IBM. So if you're asking specifically what we OEM, then it will be the NX Supermicro. Good question. Cool. Data locality is a huge buzzword here within Nutanix. Data locality is what going to separate us from any other, not just other HCI products, but also every other software-defined product. I have a slide that goes a little better to explain it than these bullet points, so I'll save it for those. But just real quick, data locality just means if a VM sits in node 1, it'll always write locally to the local disk in node 1, and it'll never write to node 2 or node 3 right? Since software defined, it could be written anywhere within your environment. So those be local, giving you faster read and writes. Next. Replication factor is how we do failover. Don't think of it as RAID. It's a little different, right? What replication factor enables, right? We store data as into blocks. Once we commit a block into storage, we'll create a copy of that data, of that block, and replicate it to another node. In case there's a node failure, we have a replicated copy elsewhere within the environment. RF3 just means another extra copy. Those are definitely for larger environments. For most customers, we see RF2 being pretty sufficient. But for large enterprise customers or banks, we have seen them use RF3. And don't get confused with our replication factor with N+1, N+2. We will build out an environment to house N+1, N+2 with you guys for 1 or 2 node failure, right? Redundancy. This is replication factor, which helps and enable redundancy. Just creating extra copy, extra block within the environment. Again, I do have a slide that demonstrates this very well. Apologies, pre-COVID, I would go out in site and do a whiteboard for you guys. Us engineers, we love whiteboards, but hopefully these PowerPoints will do it justice.
I sense a little bit of withdrawal there, Paul.
Next. Intelligent sharing is just hot and cold sharing. We'll skip this one. Next, sorry. Here we go. So this is what I want to show you. Again, normally I do this as a whiteboard, but this actually be more legible than my drawing, so it might actually even be better. Cool. So our anatomies, read and write. This is where data locality comes into play, and RF2 and RF3 for high availability. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Again, this is what's going to differentiate yourselves from other competitors, ECI or storage defined. So in C here, I have a 3-node cluster. Guest VM is sitting at node 1. Click Philip. Notice how it's going to read and write directly into storage. It also skips the hypervisor. We do a pass-through, so it does read and write a little quicker. But you notice how, right? It didn't read and write to the other nodes. It's local. Once we commit, we're going to do RF2, and you can see it did a replicated copy of those blocks on the other nodes. And also note, we're striping across, right? It's not just all in node 2. Next slide. Yep, so click data is read locally. Again, data locality. If it's not local, click fill up. Hopefully this moves. One more time. There we go. So let's say a vMotion happens or a guest VM gets moved. With data locality, those blocks will move along with the guest VM. Cool. CVM autopathing, this is for failover in case of node, well, this one in case of controller VM goes down. So quick fill up, I think the CVM should go down. Yep, there it is. I said it a little too excitedly. Hopefully that never happens. But if that does happen, oh, go back. So if that does happen, oh, backwards. So if that does happen, so all the CVM works together. They send heartbeats to each other. When we do write data to storage, we do commit the metadata through the CVM, so it knows where all the data is located. In this case, CVM2 will take over, and it knows exactly where all the blocks are, and it'll just read and write wherever the guest VM does the request. Cool. Next. ADS is just our DRS, right? We can move VMs around to allocate resources. So if one node gets too hot, DRS, HA will move vMotion VMs over. Good.
Come on, There we go.
Magic. But yeah, again, if you guys are familiar with VMware, it's DRS, but we call it ADS. Not to be confusing, but it's the same concept. Next. Okay, so self-healing. Go next, it's a better slide. So this is where, again, our SCs, Philip, Harvey, or myself, we'll build out for N+1, N+2 for redundancy. We do self-heal as well, so it does it automatically. You can set it and forget it. So this environment here, this example is running a N+2. Anyone want to tell me what N+2 means? So N+2 means we're building an environment to allow for 2 node failures. Ideally, we want to do N+2, but cost prohibitive, we could do N+1. But we'll work in size with you. So what does this look like in the N+2 scenario? So you can see here, the environment's running. Philip, sorry, you accidentally slipped and broke 1 node. Oh no. So what happens, right? HA kicks off, right? DRS, we motion over, VM moves to the next node. And we, oh, go back, too fast. Too excited there. Philip broke all 2 at once. So you can see there, right? It moved over. Can you go backwards one? I want to show how it rebalances. Yep, so the VM moves over and then it self-heal, right? And you'll see it does replication factor of 2 and self-heal and rebalance. Click. Yep. So see, it self-heal and rebalance itself. Philip again trips on another wire and breaks the second node.
I'm not having a very good day today, am I?
HA kicks in, the moves over to node 3, and again, it self-heal on its own, rebalances out the blocks. And it all does it for you, so ease of mind, right? Set it and forget it. Same thing. If you're expanding, it'll do a self-heal and rebalance if you're expanding, adding more nodes. Sorry about that, Philip.
I was going to say, I mean, we've been through a period where, you know, a lot of these clusters were unmanned for an extended period of time. And this technology kept everything running, even with hardware failures, host failures, component failures in a lot of our customer environments. So during COVID, when everyone was prohibited from going into their data center, this was really a saving grace for a lot of our customers.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So while we're here, I've got a question. If you were to lose a 4-node block, is there a possibility of committed data loss?
So great question, Philip. So we also have block awareness and rack awareness. So block awareness, right? If you lose a whole block, we can replicate copy to another block. We have rack awareness, where for larger customers, again, sorry, Philip, I'm not picking on you. But say you trip on the wire and the whole rack goes down, we're replicating to a secondary rack. We can also do DR to a secondary site, and we can do DR out to the cloud as well. So very many right disaster recovery scenarios we can help with. We don't have a single point failure. Right.
Well, we have to thank Matt for that great question. It came in on the Q&As, but
great question, Matt.
It is a great question. And one of the things that we'll do, Matt, too, from a design and a pre-sales standpoint, we'll make sure that we go through an overall design. And so we probably wouldn't stack your entire environment in a single block if it's larger than 4 nodes. We would try to stripe that the same way that the data is doing on the underlying data storage fabric. So for that reason, we would probably look at expanding over a couple of different blocks to give you some more resiliency. Any other questions? All back to you.
Very excellent question. DR is very important. Backup is very important, right? I use the analogy, it's like having car insurance. You hate to pay it, but you're glad you have it when something happens. On that note, again, this is a little above the scope of this class, but I do want to let you guys know all different products that we have. As Nutanix, right, we're not a product company, we're a solution company. Same with Xentegra. We have something called DR as a service as well that you can leverage. It was formerly known as Leap. Also formerly known as, I think, Xileap. Yeah.
Marketing,
yeah.
what can we do, right?
But DR as a service, we can, right, depending on your RPOs and RTOs, we can set a fault tolerance VM out into our cloud or AWS or GCP. Anything happens on-prem, point it to the fully hided VM out in the cloud and just use that until you fix your main site. So we do have a DR as a service platform to leverage in that scenario as well. Questions
So
on
we've
that?
we've got a question from Ugerson.
So as you said, the DRS service provided by Nutanix. So it purely cross connection between two data centers. For example, one is APAC, one is US. In that context, or how they are working? Because in our case, we are using Zetto as a third party, for cloud based, tier facility. So what Nutanix providing for this?
Are you asking for long distance DR, or what was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, long distance DR. What facilitated? Maybe that there is cost.
I'll look into that. I know there's a lot of third party that can throttle the throughput. I'll get back to you what we partner with. Same with Xentegra. If you guys have a partner, vendor product you guys use for that, we'll get back to the answer with that one.
Yeah, and Zerto is also one of our technology alliance partners. So we do work with Zerto, since you mentioned you work with Zerto now.
Yeah, that we are using, but I asking what facility provided by Nutanix.
Yeah,
I'm not in third party.
Correct. There's a lot of different products out there to help with that. I just don't know off the top of my mind, but we'll dig in and look at that for you, Ferguson.
Thank you.
Yep, good question. Any other questions? Cool. Next. And again, sorry, I forgot to mention this earlier. Feel free to interrupt me anytime. Right, this time is for everyone here. I didn't want to get any questions addressed, so don't hesitate to interrupt. So next slide. I'll go through these pretty quick. Infinity and anti-infinity roles, they are what they are. You can put VMs, separate them out as anti-infinity if you don't want them to fail together, right? For whatever reason. Infinity rules, if you need a database to always stay together with a VM, you can put them as infinity rules. So they always DRS or vMotion together. Next. Oh, and I already went over anti-infinity. Okay, so we do have built-in native snapshots, just like any other storage vendor. Right, we can do RPOs and RTOs. Our out of the box is 1 hour RPOs. We do have extra features if you need under 5 minute, 2 minute RPO. We can do synthetic snapshots for those quicker RPOs. That will be a different bundle and maybe an add-on. But if RPO is a concern, we are able to do so. How we get it down to 1 minute to 5 minutes is we create one full backup baseline. As you guys know, that might take the longest. But once we have that baseline and it's snapped, we're only taking the delta, right, changes of all the next snapshots. So that's why we can go down to 1 minute or less. Next slide. And again, right, we still recommend as engineers to use those third-party enterprise backup vendors. We have those full conversation, which one we recommend, or you have questions today, feel free to ask. We can discuss it as well. But many options with backup and DR, as you guys heard we talked. Cool. Again, this is just a level of showing how we're backing up, right? Snapshots, protecting against corruption, upgrades, etc. You can always go back to the latest snapshot and recover from. You can back up locally, or you can back up to a secondary site you guys stand up. We also have, again, S3 connectors where we can send backups directly into AWS S3. Next slide. Oh, I think I see someone's hand raised. Erguson, did you have a question?
Yes, I'm asking about the affinity rule. So if one 5-node or 6-node cluster, we are using Nusani print service, okay? Mm-hmm. Have multiple sites, have multiple branches, that affinity rule. Because sometimes the VM is migrate from one host to another host, the printer service is not working. So if you can say there is any in migration that anything changes, that's why is facing some issues or something, if you can tell me the any use cases.
I think we would have to go on site to check that one out, Philip.
I'm sorry, I was multitasking badly.
No worries, no worries. I think this is a scenario where we have to do a health check and check your environment to give you a specific answer to that one, Erguson.
Yeah, my question is that is MAC address change or something happened once that migration happened, or because in that same node it's working fine. If I from one node to another node in the same cluster, the print issues. Just asking if there is any use cases you can facing somewhere.
We'll look into that. I don't know anything top of my mind, unless Philip Harvey. I think this is one where we have to just do a service engagement and just take a look into your environment and see what's going on.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Anyone else? Cool. So our replication, if we're doing DR to DR, is asynchronous. Click next slide. We do have Metro availability as well. So we also have synchronous replication. Next slide, Philip. I think it shows hopefully Metro on the next one. Yep, here we go. So this one is synchronous, right? We can do Metro availability to make sure site 2 is always up to date as site 1. So you have the option if you want, right? Asynchronous is always going to be faster, but synchronous, both of your sites are always going to be up to date. We are going to create what we call protection domains. So you can separate out policies between protected domains and what VMs and what's more mission critical. Click. Let's group them together. Yeah, you can see there. It's a synchronous that goes down. All the VMs are update on secondary site. And again, we're creating those protection domains so you can separate out policies between your mission criticals, what you need to back up faster, and vice versa. Cool. Click. There you go. Click. Here we go. One-click cluster. This is something I'm very excited, always excited to talk about. We say one-click again as marketing. Might be 1 or 2 just to log in. But we do the one-click cluster upgrade. It's non-disruptive, rolling upgrade. So very, very powerful. What does this mean to you as a customer? This means you can do upgrades during production work hours. So no longer do you need to do upgrade during after work or weekends. You can have them back. We're going to upgrade them one by one As you saw, how every node has its own CVM, which is put one on maintenance mode, DRS, move everything out to node 2, upgrade that CVM, upgrade that node, and then we'll keep rolling until we upgrade every single node. So it is non-disruptive, rolling upgrade. And again, it's one click. Speaking of one click, click Philip. One more time.
Okay.
Here's the slide I was looking for. So magic, the pointer will move on its own. It's going to see what's new. Click on AOS. You'll see it 5.5, but right now our latest version is 6.5, 6.8. And it will upgrade there for you. So you see there, it's like 2 or 3 clicks. So apologies to marketing, but one click upgrade, then you upgrade to the latest version. Yep, perfect, Ergson. Yeah, 6.5 is a lot of cool features in 6.5. Cool. Next slide. Cross hypervisor replication, so we can replicate from site to site. Doesn't have to be the same hypervisor. So if main site has VMware, we can replicate to cloud or DR over to AHV and vice versa. So cross hypervisor replication and DR. Click. It's fully automated, done in minutes. We can convert your hypervisor for you. What we've seen a lot in the market is a lot of customers try out AHV in their DR site. They love it so much that they actually convert everything over, even on-prem, to AHV from VMware. But for whatever reason you go back to VMware, we can flip back within a click of a button as well. So we can do in-flight conversion, and we can also do in-place conversion of VMware to AHV. And you see there at the bottom, it says, oh, the old way could take months, cost thousands of dollars. For us, it's a couple clicks. Maybe take you guys out for lunch, come back, it will be converted.
And if you notice, there's a theme kind of running here. One click, it's simplified. You know, a lot of the value that you're going to get as a customer is in the automations and these time-saving things that Nutanix is engineered into their platform. You know, this is pretty amazing when you think about it. I mean, it's changing hypervisors, it's moving everything around for you. You know, everywhere else, that's a pretty laborious, time-consuming job for someone to do manually.
Yes, absolutely right, because we done last week 70 nodes, just single click, went for our personal work. Once you're back after 4 hours, everything done. So no need to worry about.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very powerful to hear from a customer validate our product. So thank you.
Totally agree. Yeah.
But again, I mentioned about cluster expansion. It does the same process as a self-heal. Add more nodes, select a new node in the console. Just add a node to the top of the rack switch, right? It uses IPv6 to auto-detect a new node, and it will self-heal, expand, and replicate. Sorry, RF2, RF3, balance out your environment. Click. Image services. So many of you guys are familiar with creating a separate data store for all your ISO and raw images. We created that for you. So just put all your ISOs, your QCOWs into the image services, and then you can create your VMs and your windows from there. Click. We just made it a little more convenient for everyone. And you'll see it in the lab. Click. So Prism Central, Thick Prism Element manages one cluster. Prism Central manages multiple clusters, and a lot of our products and functionality can be managed through Prism Central. So our Prism Central is a very powerful tool I do like to do a Prism Central demo for everyone. So I've been talking for maybe longer than an hour. Let's take a quick 10-minute bio break, water break. I'll spin up an environment and I'll do a demo for everyone. So let's take a 10-minute break. We'll get back at 12, what time is it now? 12:25.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. I'll see you guys in 10 minutes and we'll do a demo. Whoa, that clock is fancy. I like it, Philip.
Now, if it were just accurate, then, you know.
One step at a time.
That's right. That's right. Baby steps, baby steps. Or wait, what is it? Release quickly, release often. There we go. So while we are on break, if anybody did not get their credentials to the lab in their email, just put your hand up and I'll get you an email in the wind.
Yeah, 1 second, what you say?
If anyone didn't get their credentials in email for the lab later on in the workshop, those were all sent out. If you don't have that email, let me know and I will get it to you.
Okay.
All right, it looks like it's time for us to be back. Paul, Harvey?
I'm right here.
All right.
Go.
All right.
Cool, cool. Just make sure, can you guys see my screen or my screen to the right? See Prism.
Yep.
Prism console
You're
here.
good.
We see it good.
Awesome, awesome. Cool. So I just want to do a quick demo for you guys on Prism Central, and we'll dive right into the labs. You guys see here, Prism Central again manages multiple Prism elements. So you can see the different clusters I'm managing. With this scenario, right, we can have multiple clusters with different hypervisors. We have one cluster running AHV, a second cluster running vSphere, another cluster running Hyper-V. So we can manage multiple hypervisors through this Prism Central, managing them one cluster at a time. You can log into Prism Element at any time. Just click on the cluster itself, and then you can launch Prism Element. But everything in Prism Element you can do on Prism Central as well. So I don't see why you would need to switch back and forth unless you want to dig a little deeper into that specific cluster. But most things you can do here in Prism Central. So you can create your containers here, your VMs, what have you. I call this the burger bar because it looks like a burger to me. I've heard people call it 3 bars. I call it the burger. You can see here, you can build out your VMs, your images, your storage, and your volume groups, create your network security. Everything you can do in Prism Element, you can do here as well. But what you can do here, there's certain things you can't do in Prism Elements. That's what I want to demo for you guys today. There's 2 key powerful products in Nutanix that I don't think many partners or customers are aware that we have. It's called XPlay and XFit. It's our built-in machine learning and automation. Very, very powerful. It is packaged into our NCM bundle, Nutanix Cloud Management. So keep a lookout for that when you guys are purchasing or looking into Nutanix. So let's demo that here right now. If you go down to operations, you can see that go into planning. And I'll go over, so this is going to be XFit, and I'll go over XPlay here in a second. XFit is that built-in machine learning, and XPlay is the automation. So again, with any machine learning, it gets better the more you use it. So let's click on a cluster here. Oh, it's loading, just how demo seems to go. But it was a real live environment, right? You can see a demo cluster, and it can give you a predicted runway of how much resources you can have left before you run out of resources. So give me a second to reload this page here. I forgot to make the sacrifice to the demo gods today. Here we go. Oh, not this one.
I promise I didn't run trip over a cable.
No worries, Philip. Yeah, so you can see here, it breaks down between CPU runway, memory runway, and storage runway. So live environment might say a month or 2, a couple of days resources. From there, you can decide whether you want to scale up or scale horizontally. So scale up is adding more resources into that node. Scale horizontally is adding more nodes to scale vertically or horizontally. Again, this graph is showing flat, but you can predict in the future. Move the mouse pointer, and it can show you what it's predicting, what you're going to use in the future. Yeah, pause again today. This is the live environment. We can run a POC for you guys if you guys like, but you can see predicted growth with the graph, how many days are left. And what's cool, you can also optimize resources. So it can tell you how many VMs are over provisioned. Any inactive VMs you can power down and save resources, or any constrained or nosy bully VMs that we need to remediate. That's hogging all the resources. So pretty cool tool to use to take a look at. Again, it's under the NCM Nutanix Cloud Management Bundle, which also even more cooler. You'll probably hear me say that a lot because I'm very passionate and I really believe in the product that I'm selling. Everything is very cool to me, so you'll probably hear me say that pretty often. Again, so that was capacity runway. We can also do scenarios. Say, for example, in the next 6 months, you can have a brand new project, new workload you can add to your environment. Will it fit in the next 6 months? We can test it out ahead of time before you run that project. It doesn't have to be 6 months. It can be a month to a year. So for fun, let's do lucky number 7. We're going to add a brand new workload into our existing cluster and see will it fit the next targeted 7 months project. Let me click on my demo cluster. Should pop up my existing workload. And you can add and adjust any new workload you can add in the next 7 months. So it can be your SQL servers, VMs, VDI, Splunk, machine learning, what have you. I'm going to do VDI because it's been pretty prevalent during the pandemic. A lot of customers have been adding more VDI home users. And it's pretty simple here and fun to demo. So I'm going to add 500 users. It's going to scare out the system because it's a lot of users that we're adding. So we'll add 500 to the existing workload, targeted for the next 7 months. And you can see here, we do not have enough resources. If you click on recommended, we can recommend you, or the system can recommend you what hardware to upgrade and purchase, and work with your Syntegra and Nutanix account team to figure out what you need to upgrade your environment. And again, this is for you guys to see, and not us as the vendor and reseller account teams. So I'll give it a couple more seconds. It'll load up. More than likely, it's going to tell me to add 2 more nodes of the NX model. And it'll give me how much CPU and memory and storage I would need to add. While I was spinning up, any question, concern, comments? Oh, there it is. But any question, concern, comments on this process? I think it's pretty neat. It tells you exactly what you need for your targeted project. And again, this is for you as a customer to see, and then you guys can decide with your account team what you need to purchase and upgrade. Question, concern, comments there?
I'll say, one of the use cases here, I don't know if any of your organizations are big into mergers and acquisitions, but this is a great way to model out what capacity you would need to expand a cluster if you're about to acquire or, ingest a whole lot of data and a whole lot of new information.
Yep. M&A.
M&A, lived it for years.
Cool. So that was XFit. Now we're going to go over XPlay. You might hear it as crossplay. I call it XPlay, but you might hear it interchangeably. So again, it's the same thing under operations. Oh, that. We're already on operations, my bad. Instead of planning, go to playbook. We have a couple of playbooks already created. So what this is doing is creating a runway playbook of already scripted events for you to use. For any IT admins out there, this might be what you're going to be used for your day-to-day. Right? So say, for example, you go home, the VM decides to use an overuse, right, the memory or vCPU. Most of the time, it might shut down the VM. We can create a run play runbook that will alert you. and it'll trigger an event and it'll automatically add more VM and vCPU into that VM so it doesn't get powered down. So you go home, ease of mind. If they're in your family, take a nap, go to sleep. It gives you that ease of mind. Let's do an example here, but these are a couple of the ones that are already pre-created for you guys to use to click on, reduce memory or add. Let's go ahead and show how to create one. So very simple. So there's two triggers, right? The one I just kind of alluded to was a alert trigger. So alert you when an event happened and it'll run the playbook. We can also do a manual playbook as well. That's for scenarios like, for example, you have 100 VMs and you want to add more memory to all 100. Normally you have to log into each and every one, power them off, manually add the memory and power them back on one by one. That's a lot of time consumed. With manual trigger, we can do all 100 all at once in a single click. So manual is a little easier for me to demo. Let's go ahead and demo the manual one, and we can also discuss the autopilot triggered events as well. So do a manual trigger. Let's take a look what it looks like, and then we can discuss more if there's an interest on the auto one. So it doesn't have to be VM. It can be the whole host, the whole cluster, the vCenter, what have you. I'm going to go ahead and demo the VM. Here we're going to create the actions. So action 1, always send email. You can see here we can also log into your Slack, send a Slack message. I won't do this in the demo because it'll just keep alerting me on the more and more demo I do. But just know you can do that as first step. Second step would probably be power off the VM. Okay. And then I'm going to demo adding more memory. So I'm going to add memory here. Set your parameters. So I'm going to go ahead, every click, add 1 gigabit of memory. And I'll limit at 5, so it doesn't keep taking more and more and more out of your resource pool. I'll create that parameter. And of course, we want to power back on that VM. My eyes are failing me here, Philip. If you can see power on VM, let me know.
Power on's right there on the far left side, I believe.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm good for something.
You're good for a lot of things, Philip. Cool. So let's go ahead and save and close. Give it a name. I'll just call it Zentegra with a capital T, or else Zentegra marketing will get mad at me. Add 1 memory. Oops. Memory add. Description, add 1 gigabit of memory. Remember to enable. A lot of people always forget and wonder why it doesn't work. Let's go ahead and hit save. Cool. I won't demo it fully, but I do want to show you what a auto alert might look like. So go back to create playbook. Again, we did the manual one, but we can do the alerting. Like I mentioned, if it happens overnight, it hits your threshold, it'll automatically add more memory for you. We can do the alerting as well. We don't have time to demo it fully, but I just want to show you what it would look like. So a couple options here. You can pick specific VMs that you can pick on. Node running out of memory capacity. Let's see here, VM over provisioned. I'm looking for VM using too much memory here. But you see there's a lot of different alerts or trigger that you can select. I'll just select one for now. So you guys can see, and you set an autopilot. This is where you can set your your threshold. So range from if the CPU goes over 10%, it'll go ahead and whatever we set, add more CPU, add more memory, if this parameter hits that you guys set. Question, concerns on that one? Cool. So let's go ahead and demo the manual process. Is what I should have done ahead of time is create multiple VMs for you guys to see. But I do have a VM that should be built out to test out that one. So see here, XPlay VM. Imagine I have 100 of these. Again, I sort of create a couple more for demo. But you can click on as many VMs as you like that you want to add memory or run that playbook. I'll just do this one for now because it's already pre-staged for me on this demo. Go to Actions. Go to Run Playbook. There's our playbook that we created. So it's already powered off. They'll power off the VM, add the 1 gig of memory, and then power on that VM for me. So do you remember, see how it says memory here at 2 gigabytes? Once you run this, it will change up to 3. And again, just imagine you have 100 of these. You can do it all at once with a single click. So we'll go ahead and run this Integra memory add. And it will run through its process. While it's running, any question, concern, comments? Or you guys used this before, haven't heard of this? This is very cool, very neat. Any comments, guys?
Well, I will say I would have loved to have this as an administrator instead of getting calls from our NOC in the middle of the night for VMs running out of disk space.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very slick tool. It's an engineering favorite word to say, slick. So you see there it added the memory. So now it's at 3 instead of 2. And it should power on my VM here momentarily. I'm just gonna keep refreshing my page until it does. But you guys did see how, oh, there it is. And you see how I added that 1 gigabit of memory there for me.
Again, I know there's a lot of different ways to automate out in the industry, but this is a very user-friendly way of automation. You get, lots of things already in the library, some things pre-built. It's very approachable to save you and your team's time.
Cool. That was the demo I wanted to show you guys today. Rest of the time, you can take breaks if you like, but let's run the labs. Philip, do you want me to show you do you want me to show them how to log into the lab, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone should have an email. It's got the URL. It's got your usernames and password for today. So that should be sitting in your email. If you don't have that, please let me know and I will get that over to you. And Paul, if you want to start demoing how to log in and get access.
Yep. Let me share my whole entire screen here and be a lot easier. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen here. So you guys see the email?
So I did not forward that email all the way to them.
Okay, no worries.
This is going to be my mistake.
The link.
We received all this information, yes.
Yeah, so you guys should have linked to the lab guide, which is you see here in the back. Go through step by step through the labs. The first couple ones are good information. The lab starts here at configuring storage and networking. Make sure you go step by step. A lot of people, when they run into problems, when they skip the steps, but do read line by line.
So
let us know if you can't get into this lab. Sorry?
I was going to say, one note there where it's got HPOC password, that's going to be the password that's in your email.
Correct. So on your email, it should say login credentials to Prism UI. It's admin, and then the password is the NX2Tech 357 bang.
Yeah. So, Paul, one thing I didn't do, I didn't send the full email that you've got on screen. I'm going to follow up with that right now. I sent them a more abbreviated email.
Abbreviated one might be easier, but I just want to show them here.
So I'll get that email that Paul's showing on screen here in just a moment.
Cool. Do you guys all have the Frame VDI link here? Do you have this one?
Yeah. Paul, I can ask one question. It's something else here.
Sure.
For example, in Prism Central, when that request come for delete any VM, okay? Once we delete that, we can see that it's showing pop-up message, your VM is deleted fully, okay? But how can we get the task in the Prism Center where we can found if that details not captured at the same time, and then later on how to get like what means who deleted at what time that VM. There is some time, in VMware, you have the task, it's already set till you delete those details. But where we found in Prism Center, there is any task created for any type of work.
Are you asking about history?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, there'll be once I log into the console, I'll show you. It's on the top right-hand side. You can see all the past, when the VM was created, when the VM was deleted, added, it'll all be there. It's the top right-hand side. It'll be like a circle bar. Keep that in mind. I'll show you once we log into the console.
Okay.
Yep, but it's there. I'll show you. Cool. Once you guys have this email, you click on the Frame link. So Frame is also a Nutanix product. It's our VDI as a service. Once you get into here, you guys should all have your own unique login name. It all should be DM3 POC004 user number. I'm going to go ahead and use user 20. Hopefully no one has number 20.
Nope, but that one's not given out, so you're free.
So to make sure you guys enter a different number here. So I'll log into mine as user 20. And the password, again, is just going to be NX2Tech bang. Okay, then go ahead and log into the VDI desktop. And once you start session, open up a Google Chrome browser, and we'll enter in the cluster IP, or we call it the CVIP. So the CVIP, Philip, did you add it into the email as well?
Yes.
The cluster IP here?
Yes, that whole email has gone out, and first email is going to have your individual username, and then you'll have a copy of the email Paul has on screen.
So we're going to go ahead and copy the whole CVIP ID. Nope, I am unable to log in. Okay, let me log into a different one.
I got that same message.
Oh, for all of them? Okay. It was working this morning. Philip, you can stop recording, by the way.
Make them squirm. Oh, I think it was your turn today to sacrifice to the demo gods.
Mm-hmm. We still have parallels, and we still have test drive. I'm going to send this to IT.